Hello, Taya's classroom. This is a story of Taya's trip to Washington, D.C. to visit Aunt Rita and Uncle Steve. There we are. The first day, Taya wanted to go downtown and with Uncle Steve to go to work. Uncle Steve works in D.C. at the Department of Health and Human Services. At lunchtime, we went out to visit the Capitol in the background and all the other things to see on the National Mall. Ask Taya how long the National Mall is. It runs from the Capitol building all the way to the Lincoln Memorial, which we're going to see later. In the background is the Washington Monument. We'll see more pictures of that too. There's lots of monuments in Washington, D.C. Here's a picture of Taya standing in front of the Washington Monument. And off to the distance, you can also see what looks like a castle, which is the Smithsonian Institute. Look how big Taya's head is. Taya tried to step on the Washington Monument. Ask Taya how tall the Washington Monument is. It's the tallest building in Washington, D.C. As you can see, they were getting ready to set up something on the National Mall. Now we're getting ready to go home on the Metro. Taya liked to talk to people only when I let her on the Metro. Here she is sitting on the Metro. She had a seat to herself. My goodness. Oh, here we are outside back in Maryland now, and we're getting ready to come home. Taya wanted to drive my Mustang. Well, I let her sit in the driver's seat, but she didn't actually drive it. So the next day, Taya went off to work with Aunt Rita. Aunt Rita works for the Department of the Army. They went to visit the Pentagon first. No pictures here because they'll put you in jail. So while they were visiting the Pentagon, they decided they'd go shopping. They got all kind of neat stuff that Taya should have already passed out to the class by now. The next day was Saturday, and Taya and Aunt Rita went for a trip downtown on the Metro again to see Washington, D.C. To see all the neat stuff that she didn't see when she was downtown with me. Okay, here's the Washington Monument again. Oh, there's another picture of the Washington Monument, and they're setting up for Earth Day and for a special event on this Saturday for kids that have no hope. This was a bunch of school kids that were singing to other kids to share hope. So Taya got to watch a lot of different classes from all around the country come here and sing songs to people. There's the Capitol again in the background, and another picture of the Capitol in the background. And that castle is actually the visitor center for the Smithsonian Museums. It's a system of, ask Taya how many. There's a lot more than just one museum. She'll tell you how many there are. Here's one of the favorites of Aunt Rita, Natural Museum of Natural History. There's the Smithsonian Castle building again. And there's various national museums. And inside the National Museum of Natural History is there's an elephant, and there's Aunt Rita with Taya. After that, they went to the State Department, Department of the State. Department of the State represents the United States to other foreign countries. There's a picture of, what is that? The Lincoln Memorial. Of course it is. Ask Taya. She would have told you that. Also, you can ask Taya how many steps there are that go up to the Lincoln Memorial. She can tell you. There's a picture, you can just barely see it. We'll see a better picture in a second, of Abraham Lincoln inside the monument. Ask Taya just how tall that statue is. She knows. She'll tell you. There's all kind of stuff in here that talks about the life of Lincoln. And did you know that we're now celebrating his 200th birthday? He was born 200 years ago in the year 1809. Here's a picture of Taya standing in front of Lincoln. Here's a picture of Taya standing on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial looking out towards the Washington Monument. Here's the Korean War Memorial. Ask Taya when the Korean War started and when it ended. She'll tell you. Here's some more pictures from the Lincoln Memorial looking out at the Washington Monument. Here they were getting ready to do a celebration for Lincoln's 200th birthday. Now we're down to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, one of the many, many, many war memorials you'll find in Washington, D.C. There's the three soldiers. Here's a book that lists all the names of those that died in the Vietnam War. And as you can see coming up in the background, that's the Vietnam Memorial wall. Those are all the names engraved on the wall of those that died in the Vietnam War. Ask Taya how many names are on that wall. She can tell you. She knows. There's various wreaths People come here with a piece of paper and a pencil, and they'll trace the names of their loved ones and take it back as a souvenir. There's the White House. Ask Taya how many rooms, bathrooms, and fireplaces the White House has. She can tell you. There's another good picture of the White House. Now we're coming up on, Taya wanted to play. So there's some flowers at the base of the Washington Monument, and Taya wanted to just take time to smell the flowers. Now we're on Constitution Avenue, one of the main ones. This is what is this? Oh, a big building. Here's the National Museum of American History. Taya, it's time for her to go. Thought she could take my motorcycle, but she's not. It's time to go home. Bye-bye.